Welcome back to another update here. This is PTC one, the first potential tropical cyclone here of the season, and this is the satellite imagery of tonight. Today it has been a day where potential tropical cyclone one has not really gained any strength since the night before. Honestly, stayed a 40-mile-an-hour storm, 999 millibars, still very broad in nature. But I will admit, throughout the evening and night, we are starting to see the signatures of a much stronger potential storm looks into tomorrow. Why do I say that? Because first off, the satellite imagery here very well tonight present here. We do have, I think, a closing of a circulation that could make this tropical storm Alberto very shortly by maybe tonight's update or tomorrow morning's update here. So what I am seeing here is been the continuing of the convection fight here in this storm. So yes, the I know the NHC earlier did say and did pull out the convection has been very north today, not really well present into the main circulation. But even on the main circulation now, we have a much better sign that we do have an area of low pressure. And where that stands as of right now is right in here, you guys. This is where I'm really starting to see that tight circulation. And why that could be some things because how broad it is. This is in a very good environment. And one thing I've noticed, yes, some of that convection has died off. We still got these spotty bands of convection developing through the north. There's a new blob of convection right there. Some pretty nice convection on that northern sea right there. And even a bit more on this side. So definitely on the northern side, very well of a convection. But we do have some southerly convection as it honestly died off throughout the day here. But we do have another, another little blob of thunderstorms right here. We got some convection right here. So it's telling me that, yes, it's not very well pronounced with the convection spree, but now with this continuous flow, and like I said, this storm is going to be a slow, strengthening one. I do expect this to gain some strength throughout tonight into tomorrow. Maybe this could be a tropical storm tomorrow, maybe even a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm. Depends how recon finds the winds and stuff. I do believe that they are going to find a closed circulation once they get in here. Where I think this could make a landfall, if it continues moving in this direction, then it's going to make landfall. Like I said, I think right now is somewhere between here. Only way this is going to make a landfall just in the United States, it's going to have to move north more, or maybe we got that area of low pressure to jog a little bit more north if we do see a convection switch. Then maybe a little bit more of the cone on the northern side. But we still got about 24 hours before this makes a landfall, probably tomorrow night here, and this is one of the older minutes. So if we take a look at that updated now, I mean, look at that. Like I said, the convection here is once again redeveloping on that southern side, the western side, and eastern side, and the northern side. So we're really seeing a closing off with a center of low pressure, I do think, and I think in the next coming hours, we're going to just see more and more signs that PTC 1 is ready to become the tropical storm. This was a little bit earlier on the not the minicast, the fast radar, and you can tell how the circulation has gotten a little better organized here. let that go a little bit more fast. Currently moving a little bit on the western side, so probably right now not going to make landfall in Texas or in the United States, but there is some signatures of that rotation getting a lot more tighter, and this storm is getting a lot stronger, but slowly. So if we look at the satellite imagery here, like I said, very well pronounced here. Still a bit of a broad circulation, but we kind of been having a little bit of a vortex developing here on this. And if we just let that play while I make some marks here, we have now winds coming out of here on the low levels. Then I see winds on this side coming like that. And I'm seeing a bit of winds here. And I'm seeing some broad winds on the southern side going there. So that believes that the circulation has gone a little bit more tighter. And I think some of that is just because of the cyclonic flow and the natural broad. This was going to eventually become the dominant. And I do think we are going to be seeing tropical storm Alberto in the next 24 hours. If not, this is still going to bring major impacts, and it honestly will be a huge shocker and bust because the environment is very good and this has really nothing holding it back. So they do have Raycom. We're going to be checking this right now and a little bit later. So once again, the circulation is in this area right here. The recon has went on this side of the storm pretty far out, and they did find some tropical storm force winds in the southwestern quadrant. And then they went north, and they found once again very weak winds, but definitely better since the earlier recon where we were seeing a lot of more um, little lows. So now there's not really a solid low outside of this. So I'm pretty sure, once again, they're going to find some gustier winds up here with that deeper convection. And I do think when they do come down, they're going to find a close circulation. I think that's going to be by 11 o'clock. So I think before the National Hurricane Center do their update, and I would say probably a 997, 998 millibar storm and very, very close of becoming Tropical Storm Alberto. So we look at the spaghetti models. Oh, I did that on accident. I'm going to now let that load. We're going to go to models. Let that load a bit. So let's take a look at the hurricane models here. So this is one expected to get that low to strengthen and becoming 992 actually when it does make landfall. That's a pretty strong tropical storm, even borderline hurricane. Why do we see that? This was 8 p.m. This is like 2 a.m. And then this throughout the morning. Very interesting with the satellite. The wind gust on this is once again wind gust. We do have a max when it makes landfall of 66. So we take a look at the max ones. This is about 50. So it does have about like a 50-mile an hour, 55-mile an hour tropical storm making landfall here. The hem-in here a little bit more early and actually a bit on the stronger side. More like 60 to maybe 65-mile an hour. So a bit of a stronger tropical storm on the other hurricane model has it wrapping and making landfall by 11 p.m. tomorrow. So somewhere tomorrow night, this is probably going to make landfall because HERF actually has it 5 a.m. So there's some differences. Some has it moving south a bit, some of it has it moving north. But once it starts getting its act together, you're gonna have to watch that we don't have that. And this is about 2 a.m. So you know, just an interesting sea of models here with the 18Z. I mean, this has it maybe 5 p.m., 5:30 as a 990 millibar storm, so pretty strong. The latest NAM here as of right now, I mean, still very broad in nature, not ready to go. If we take a look at the HER model, because I'm actually going to like to take a look right now into Texas, deeper into Texas, because we know we're going to be having to get some information out on Texas. Let's do it like that for now. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the outer bands. So we go, why not 6 a.m.? There is that that front end band here. Starting to make it into Texas, some pretty heavy rain. But what's going to be making the flooding, I do think, is going to be when this storm really continues, we're going to have what I like to call is training thunderstorms. So we're gonna have this huge blob of wave, but then you're gonna get these training thunderstorms because how strong the winds are. There's gonna be some tropical storm force winds, maybe even some water spouts, even tornadoes. That's gonna be training into southern Texas here. So that's gonna be causing the flooding, and if you can get down with enough rain, you can easily drop a foot in these type of scenarios. Um, we keep taking a look hour by hour, and this continues into 11 p.m. tomorrow when this makes landfall, and even past that. We go into like 5 a.m. This is still causing bands of rains, and even into the next day of showers and thunderstorms, and it doesn't really go away. So a lot of rain is probably going to be expected. If we take a look at the total accumulation of rain, yeah, you could definitely see in some of these bands you can get up to about 6 to 12 inches of rain. So be on edge with that. This is another model I like to use is the NAM model. We're gonna use the 18Z because the other model's not out, but definitely southern Texas more here with that heavier rain, up to 12 to 15 inches here. Um, So right now you can definitely tell with this system with a little bit more rain. Look at that. Wow. Look at the training thunderstorms from this storm. Definitely tornado watches tomorrow. I'm actually going to quickly like to take a look as that loads. Storm Prediction Center here. And yes, we do have a marginal risk here for Texas. Right here is a nice risk. And there is definitely that 2%. I'm actually kind of surprised they do not have a larger chance for tornadoes. So if we take a look, those are pretty much the models. So now I would like to take a look at wow, look at that wind field though. Um, that's something else. That's a huge wind field. And now there's some maybe tropical storm force winds on the southern side. So I'm gonna really like to see how we get some of these winds on the northern side. They still haven't updated that. I'm kind of surprised. They're gonna come out with a lot, or just keep coming out with little bits of it. All the forecast models have it making landfall in the next 24 to 36 hours here. So we still got time for this to continue to strengthen. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery now again. Yeah, you can definitely tell in minicast. Oh, almost. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell in minicast. Deep convection on the northern side. There is some more convection on the western side. I mean, just around the low pressure, there has just been an increase of convection, and that's going to help to solidate that low pressure. So that's some good signs if this storm wants to develop. Remember, we still got, could be like here, maybe about here, or whatever it does. There is some indications that this might try and move a little bit south to prolong its life. I've heard of that, maybe, of some reasoning why this might take a little longer. I don't really think that's going to happen, but we shall see. The 18Z here does develop it, but once again, moving very slow. This is a slow moving area, and that's 11 p.m. tomorrow. So that's 33. I mean, if we do the time, this is already, that's 3. I mean, easily 24 hours here. But, I mean, it still hasn't made a landfall by 2 a.m. It honestly makes a landfall by 5 a.m. So, even at this time, this is still not going to be making landfall. So, it still has a day in the waters to continue to develop. And the Euro definitely has more development with the storm. And then after that, there is already another potential tropical cyclone after that. And I'm going to be talking about that more in tomorrow's video here of we get once this moves on, we get another broad area to develop in the Bay Campeche with probably very good environment, and we can have a PTC too. Pretty crazy, right? And the wind shear flow is honestly going to be a lot better than this current storm is in. It's going to be even more outflow dominance. The only thing I would say is might be against it. Let's just check. And no, the dryer's not really in there. So once again, we have another area to watch going into that. One thing I will say is that high pressure. This is going to have some tough times to be moving north. So maybe Mexico once again with another tropical storm for later this week into early next week. So expect a lot more of these PTC videos in the next coming weeks here, because I do expect these PTCs to continue as the environment in the Bay Campeche is very well developed here. But that should be enough. That should be able to wrap this one up. Hope you guys liked enjoy. I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow. If you have any comments or concerns, please let me know down and below.